when is the best time to really start having that conversation? Is it just about anything that you're doing, implementing anything new? Let's make sure that we are aligned and getting recommendations with HR, and then they'll go to legal. What does that relationship look like? So I've had some people say, well, I'm not going to tell HR because they're going to tell me I can't do it.
Right.
Number one thing I hear.
So it depends. If your internal yellow flashing lights are going off because you're like, something about this doesn't feel right. And you could kind of in your mind like play it out and you're like, I could see this going on CNN. That's probably a good time, right? Where you might want to go, let me just kind of put myself on pause and get, a thought partner, whether it's HR, whether it's outside counsel or whatever. If you're entering into new territory, and I mean that figuratively, and I also mean that literally, if you are operating, for example, one of the things that I've had the wonderful chance to work with is to work with companies that are based in one part of the world that are now operating in another part of the world. And they really may or may not have any idea what they're about to get into. So if you are, even if you're in the US and you're expanding your business into Canada, and I know my Canadian friends always love this when I advocate for them and say it is not the same as the US in many, many, many different ways, especially in employment laws, right? That's when you want to seek guidance too. Like, let's not assume it's great when we can admit we don't know what we don't know. And if you're in that situation where you're like, you know what, I don't know what I don't know about working in Canada. I don't know what I don't know about, this new part of our business that we're going to look at. Maybe we're horizontally integrating or vertically integrating, whatever it is. If you're like, we've never done this, this is uncharted territory, which is very exciting, without a doubt. That's where you want to have the guidance, right? So it's new territory from things that you're doing, actions your company's taking, businesses you're getting involved in, especially if it could kind of not run afoul of, but if it like kind of interacts with privacy laws and things like that, and also other locales. I think that's the most important thing. I remember when I graduated from law school, and I was always joking around because obviously I was much, much younger then. And I always told my friends, I'm like, by the way, if any of you like, drink and drive and get pulled over, please don't make me your first call from jail. And, I got one or two first calls from jail. And I'm like, don't do that. So proactive, right? Just like being proactive where you do a designated driver. I think that's the important thing. If you can get ahead of things that you think might be issues, that's the time to actually reach out, right? And I think any lawyer will say to you, like, okay, tell me what happened. Just tell me what you said, and I'll be able to understand where we go from here. But if we could have basically gotten in the DeLorean and gotten 88 miles an hour and got back in time, right? Any lawyer would tell you, I wish you would have called me first and we never would have been here. So I think that's kind of the sentiment, which is if you think there could be a situation where maybe you're not sure of the pathway that you're going to take, or you get to a fork in the road and you're like, neither one looks inviting to me. That's when you want to reach out and you want to find somebody who could be that, that expert-ish guide and tell you in advance. It is so much easier to plan for what is it that you want to do. Using the kind of the roadmap example, tell me where you want to go. Where's your destination? Where exactly is it that you're trying? Okay, then let's kind of take this map and let's find our way and we'll carve our way through the woods in the way that's easiest, that's less risky, that makes everyone feel good about it because the journey is just as important as the destination, right? But that requires kind of, doing things in advance. And I think for any of us that might be on the call today, that might be an HR leader, that might have some legal backgrounds, that might be a compliance expert or someone who's used to providing recommendations on things. What I always find, because again, everyone does think that I'm the place where dreams go to die. I am the place sometimes where careers go to die, but that's not my fault. So the people that are behaving badly, right? But if they actually come forward, I always try as people are thinking through and kind of sharing with me, hey, we want to do this, 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 and this. Sometimes I'll stop and say, hey, you know what? Just do me a favor. Where's your end goal? What are you trying to achieve? And I will help you map out the course that will get you there, right? We never want to say no. We want to say no, but at least that's kind of my philosophy, right?